Yeah, hi everybody. We had a bit of a last tail out just before Christmas, and now all my guests have gone home. I'm going to get my fingers into rubbing some of these pieces. So there's a few interesting pieces here. We'll just see how they go. I'm going to pick this one first. Okay, we've got some nice gem colour showing there. It is a little bit thin, maybe a carving piece. So I'll just roll those edges, see if we can clean that sand up a little bit. I don't want to take off any more material than I really have to. Yeah, you can see there's some nice colours coming out of there. Just rolling some of the sand off. It's what we'd call semi-black crystal. Roll into that thin area. Use the curve of the wheel to the natural shape of the stone to sort of conserve and clean material. That's got to come off, it's a bit thin. Okay. Flatten this side off. A bit more meat on that side so we can rub it a bit more there. Put a little bit of a hole in there. Let's go gentle now. I want to conserve as much weight as possible. Roll those edges. Roll those edges. Take off those chips. There. A bit deep there. Bit of a sharp edge there. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, still looking good. Bit of the chip still going in there. Okay, let's clean that off. That's looking quite pretty. And just a little bit more there. Yeah, that's looking good now. Okay, I might skip over to these nova wheels and just clean up a bit more. I can see there's still a little bit more there that's got to come out. We'll dry it off and have a look. That'll show any imperfections. Touch more. Okay. Yeah, it's got to go down a little bit more there. Righto. Nova wheel time. Even up that shape a little bit. I like to give it a balanced sort of shape. Okay, let's go. So we got a 380 nova wheel. I use these ones for rubbing because they're 8" and they're spinning a bit faster, so it's almost like having a solid wheel. They're quite aggressive, but they won't leave the indents like a solid wheel. They will sort of start smoothing it off like what happens in the sanding and polishing stage. But for the sanding and polishing stage, for Lightning Ridge Opal, I use the 6" nova wheels because you can get them spinning a bit slower and do a more accurate and thorough job. So for the rub stage, yeah, that's perfect. That'll get out most of the imperfections and will make it a lot easier to take it to the next dopstick stage. So yeah, just a wee bit of sand there, but we can, and a little bit more there, but we can chase that on a dop stick anyway. I wouldn't want to do any more by hand, otherwise you risk losing material unnecessarily. So yeah, that's a nice piece of opal. Back over here for another piece. Okay. Well, I can see there's a thin bar going around on this one. Not a bit of a bar there and there. I don't think this one will come to much. Just give it a quick lick. Yeah, a bit mixed. So let's work this one, and with any luck, if that potch lifts out of the middle, oh yeah, that's starting to look alright. I've got to take it real easy because that's a thin bar. Now, even though these resin bond 400 grit wheels are not too aggressive and they don't damage the surface a lot, the slightest scratch can still make you lose the stone. So with these real thin bars, I prefer to use the Nova wheels a bit more. Just remove the bolt to save time, and then we'll skip over to the Nova wheel to chase that colour a bit better. Just roll it off, roll it off. That's got to come off, it's got some deep sand. Okay. Keep going in there, hopefully we'll see a bit of colour under that. Yeah, it's coming. Righto. Again, that may not clean up 100%, but it's taken to a point now where it's time to go over. I'll just do a little bit on the back too. I mean, it's got to come off sooner or later. Might as well take it off now. It's not going to affect anything. Okay. Let's get rid of those super sharp points so we don't rip our Nova wheels. And the more you take off that you can take off, the better chance you've got to get making the next decision better. So let's take that one over. Get a bit of light on the situation, more light the better. Now I'll work it slowly because it's a 380, which is quite coarse, but because it's rubberized diamond, it's not too aggressive. So once again, we'll take off everything we know has to come off. That spot's getting smaller. Oh, that's a nice piece of opal, actually. I didn't look at it for a little bit, and then I saw it and she just cleaned up. And look at that. Now that's the sort of colour that I like to see. Oh, can't believe that. That's cleaned up quite nicely. It's good to get a win for a change, I can tell you. Okay, a little bit more there. Yeah, so that little spot there is being a bit of a pain, and I've got to be careful because that bar's getting dangerously thin. So again, the scratches, so what we might end up doing is actually leaving a faint smudge in there, clean it up more. Leave the faintest of smudges in there, and hopefully that'll polish out on the 1200 or the look at that. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but yeah, there's some nice colour, nice colour. do this one a bit on the 1200 too. That way if we decide to sell it as is, whoever buys it, I mean, you can see what you got, and all you have to do is just put a polish on it. Maybe a little bit more with the 1200, just if there's any tiny little scratches. But this will just ensure that, you know, there's no major scratches left that are going to make you lose the stone or anything, you know. Yeah, that's nice. I'm happy with that bit.